Of course I got that. I'll cut it.
We'll do it on the next one. Jesus. Hey, it's Rob. We're here in the shop at Biltwell. I got an Evo Sportster on the lift. I'm going to show you how simple and easy it is to change your own oil. Please keep in mind, this is the way I do things. For proper procedures, torque specs, and capacities, please consult your Harley-Davidson service manual. To perform an oil change on your Evo Sportster, really simple, just a couple of tools. Flat blade screwdriver or a quarter drive socket, oil filter strap wrench. The great thing about a strap wrench is not only can you change your Harley-Davidson oil filter, but you can change your mom's Caprice Classic oil filter or your girlfriend's Prius. Some foil, some brake clean, a filter, 3 quarts of oil, and a service manual. So changing the oil is fairly simple. First thing you want to do is warm up the bike properly. And when I say warm up the bike, don't let it just idle on the side stand. Go take it for a ride. Get a couple of miles on it, get that oil flowing. Once you have your bike at proper operating temperature, we can go ahead and drain the oil. This is your oil drain line. It is attached to your frame with a hose clamp. You're going to want to remove that hose clamp, pull the hose off, and drain the oil into a proper container. I like to use a quarter drive socket as opposed to a flathead screwdriver. It just makes it a little easier to capture that warm gear. Please keep in mind that the oil is hot, so be careful when pulling this hose off the frame. And don't forget to move your oil fill cap to aid in the draining. Once you've let your oil completely drain, you're going to want to reattach the drain hose to the little nub right there on the frame. Let's go ahead and just slide it on. And then tighten that hose clamp. Check that it's on there, and you're ready to do the next step. Before I remove the oil filter, a little thing that I like to do to help keep my motor clean and direct the oil that's going to come out of there is I like to take some foil and just put it right underneath the oil filter and just make a little direction so it can come down. Take your oil filter strap wrench, slide it over, tighten it to break it loose. This one was relatively easy. Once you've got it loose, you can go ahead and remove that and take it off by hand. Once again, please keep in mind that these fluids are hot, so please be careful. Once you got the oil filter off, go ahead and remove the foil. Wipe down the sealing surface where the oil filter meets the motor. One thing I like to do anytime I perform an oil change, whether it's on a motorcycle or a four-wheeled vehicle, is I like to put the date of the oil change on the filter. I just put the month and the year. It's good enough. Before you install your new oil filter, go ahead and drop a couple of ounces of oil in the filter. What this will do is allow some oil to soak up in the filter element inside. So when you first turn on your motor, you won't have a totally dry system. Then you want to take a little bit of oil and run it on that O-ring surface. Just a nice film. Now go ahead and install your oil filter. I like to get it hand tight and then get extra quarter to half turn with my strap wrench. That feels good. There's no need to over tighten that. Now you're ready to fill your oil tank. What I like to do is put 2 quarts of oil in first. Once you got 2 quarts of oil in the oil tank, go ahead and cycle your engine for a minute or so. Once you give an adequate time for that oil to cycle through the engine, you can go ahead and top it off with the 3rd quart. Once you got your 3rd and final quart in, go ahead and drop in your dipstick. Now to check that you got the correct oil level, with the bike upright, pull your dipstick, and your oil level should read between the upper and the lower mark. If your oil level is below the lower, you don't have enough oil in there. If it's above the upper mark, you've got too much oil in there. But since you've done a proper 3-quart oil change, it should be somewhere right in the middle, somewhere right in between. And that's it. Super easy to change an oil on an Evo Sportster. One thing please remember, dispose of your oil and filter properly. Thanks.